Hi, my name is Lauren. I just recently discovered that I am terrible at these type of videos, so please bear with me. I have little cheats that I'm going to be reading off so I don't completely get lost and ramble too much. I run the Facebook page We Are Beautiful Long Island Movement, and currently I am partnering with whatisperfection.com to bring a series of videos and talks with the theme of not a victim. And by not a victim, we mean we're going to be ranging from subjects from abusive relationships to dealing with depression, anxiety, chronic pain, to dealing with bullies, both in the outside world and the ones that stare us right in the face every single day when we look in the mirror. Today, I saw about 4 of my friends all post about bullies. So I figured, well, that's a good place to start. First things first, example A. You have the bully who picks on the smart kid. Smart kid knows the answer. Bully doesn't know the answer. He's not as smart. He's not as studious. But he feels that he needs to make sure the smart kid and everyone knows that it's not cool to be so smart, so he can be considered superior among his peers. Example B. You have the popular girl who wears the makeup and the designer clothes, and she picks on the sporty girl who has that natural glow and the pretty smile and looks good in everything, including just sweats and a t-shirt. Because the popular girl goes home and looks in the mirror, and she sees the makeup on her face, and she sees cellulite forming on her legs. But she needs to make sure that the sporty girl knows that guys prefer pretty faces, not sweaty ones. It doesn't end. We are targeted for everything. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're a loser for liking comic books. You're an idiot for liking sports. You're not strong enough to do this. You're not talented enough to do that. They cause us to question ourselves. They add and challenge our inner voices, that little inner voice that you argue with every single day. We're all victims of some sort of bully. Family member, classmate, coworker, a complete stranger that is across the world and staring at a computer screen. They come in every shape and size. They're rich, they're poor. They come in every color under the sun, and they are miserable. So my message to you today is pity the bully. It sounds weird, right? They feel low. They try to knock people down so that they can climb on top and feel tall, and it doesn't last. It's a cavity that is inside of their chest that they're trying to feel, and it's never full. Now, I've had a lot of people who've picked on me that, oh, I'm so happy. Things are great. They've never been happier. Okay, great. So why are you focused on me? Why do you feel threatened by my happiness? That you see a status that I posted on Facebook about an accomplishment, or that I'm spending time with people I love, and you roll your eyes and you sigh and you tell other people, I feel so bad for her. She's just fooling herself. Why do you feel the need to point out what you think of my life? And, okay, please tell me how I should be living differently to your standards. Oh, wait. Happy people don't want to bring other people down. They're too busy with their happiness. Happiness creates positive vibes, not negative ones, unless you're a sociopath. When someone sits there and goes out of their way to attack you, they're not feeling superior. They try to act like they are. But if they did actually feel superior, they wouldn't have to shout about how great and amazing and talented that they are. And, especially in comparison to you. because they wouldn't compare. They would just expect everybody to see it. If they were happy, they wouldn't care at all. Their responses would be, thank you, to the accomplishments, not, thank you, so-and-so has nothing on me, I'm the better person. I know for some of you, that sounds familiar. Bullies will say whatever they can to make sure you believe that you are below them in some way so they can at least briefly feel better than someone. Most of the time, they criticize you for what they lack. I had a girl constantly attack the way I would sing. She was upset that I would beat her at almost every audition for the roles that she wanted, saying that I wasn't actually talented enough and that I got the part for whatever other reason. Whatever reason that she could invent. But the roles I would get over her were because my classically trained voice fit better than her raw, rock-styled voice. She could play the guitar way better than I ever could. And she wrote amazing music. I don't know if she still writes. I haven't spoken to her in years. But she used to write amazing music and poetry. But she was focusing on the wrong things. She wanted the role. She felt that would validate her instead of living in what made her unique and special. And that's another problem too of why bullies will attack people, is because they have a tendency of seeing what they want. And sometimes we are limited in certain ways, and there are ways around it. She could be a star. She was a star whenever she did open mic nights and talent shows, because she was awesome at her music. Other times people will criticize because of situations like this. Person A sees person B, somebody that they don't really know, a classmate that they, went to school with or something. And person B is succeeding at what they always dreamed about. They worked hard, they worked hard towards this dream. They caught a lucky break, and they're finally getting where they want to be. Person A is still working the job that they hate. They don't even try for their dreams, but that doesn't stop them from constantly talking about them. They are not taking control of their own life, which is something that I'll touch on in another talk. So now A is going to talk about how B's success won't last, or that it's not fair that they that they were successful, that they got the break, that they met the right person, that they were, they got that moment. But what makes it not fair when you don't know what they put into it? You see these people, and it's somebody that you used to know, and it happens. You get the twinge of jealousy because they're being successful. But you constantly see these people on Facebook, on social media, working towards what they want. Now, if B were to turn around and say how sad it is that A hasn't done anything with his dreams besides talk about them, that would be just as mean, if not worse. But the point is that B is not saying that, because B is happy, and A doesn't even cross their mind. They're still celebrating, and that leaves A feeling angry and cold. So again, pity the bully. By doing so, you're taking control over the situation. Their aim is to upset you, and if they can't, they lose power over one more person. You then have the power. So reach out instead. My last example that I like to use when I have this conversation with people actually comes from one of my favorite shows, Sailor Moon. So warning, spoiler alert ahead, but it's needed. In the show, in the 4th season, there is a self-proclaimed queen, Nehelenia. She wanted to have it all. Beauty, power, the usual. She's jealous of the Princess of the Moon, Sailor Moon. She wanted to take it all away. She almost did. Her friends, her love, even her daughter. One of the moments that has always stuck out in my mind, and I encourage you to find it online. It's in the Super S. It's one of the last parts, and actually a couple friends of mine created an awesome live-action version of that season. So if you check out Dead Moon Circus, I believe it's still on YouTube. But in this moment, little shout out, in this moment, there's Sailor Moon, Nehelenia, and an unconscious Chibiusa, which is Sailor Moon's daughter, next to them. And they're high above the city, and the Sailor Scouts are off fighting. Sailor Moon's love, Tuxedo Mask, is dying in bed at home. And Chibiusa's unconscious in the villain's arms. And Sailor Moon is battered, beaten, torn, but she's not angry. Nehelenia is practically screaming at her, to hate her, yell at her, get upset, cry. And she throws Chibiusa off the ledge. And Sailor Moon turns to Nehelenia calmly, giving her a small, sad smile, and says, "I still pity you." And she jumps off the edge to save her daughter. And it tears Nehelenia apart. She didn't win, so she retreats. Later, Sailor Moon convinces her to just get rid of her anger and hate, and the powers that be allow Nehelenia to start over as a child and live a better life. Magic, ain't it? But the lesson is there. When a bully has no power, they eventually will stop. They might go and try it with somebody else, or they might actually finally go, "Wow, this isn't working for me. Not anymore." Sometimes they just need the opportunity to. I've actually managed to make friends with some of my old bullies. Some grow up and know that they were just trying to compensate, or they were just trying to be cool, go along and whatnot. I had one bully reach out to me on Facebook. She was surprised that she found me. And she just said, "I always remember you were into this sort of thing. And I just want you to know that over all these years, whenever I saw something from that, or that was that, it made me think of you." And that's kind of cool. Sometimes they're just, they realize. Not everybody does. Sometimes all it takes to deflate the situation is a compliment that they never thought that they would hear. Or to just be given the chance they felt they never got, or the help that they always needed to accomplish something. Take a moment. Don't give in. Don't fall into defense. It doesn't matter what random people think of you. And that's key. And that's something that in Not a Victim, we're going to go over multiple times. The world does not matter. They're not you. Their voices don't matter. So you are not a victim. Pity the bully, and you could become the hero. Thanks for watching.